Hello and welcome to Cox Connections. I'm your host, Gary McCullum, Senior Vice President and General Manager for Cox Hampton Roads. Established in 1957, Volunteer Hampton Roads has grown from a small group of committed citizens to what is now a full-service management support organization for the nonprofit sector. Kate Meekin, Corporate Relations Director for Volunteer Hampton Roads, joins us today to talk about the nonprofit training, corporate programming, and volunteerism that Volunteer Hampton Roads provides to various organizations throughout the community. Thanks for being with us today, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
We were talking earlier, I mean, you guys and what you do really makes this community special.
It certainly does, and we've been around for 55 years, which is a long time for any nonprofit.
55 years young.
That's right.
That's right.
Young.
So
exactly.
Let's start off. Tell me a little bit about the mission of Volunteer Hampton Roads.
Sure. Volunteer Hampton Roads, we're a bit different than your typical nonprofit. We have three pillars that we work on. We work with our nonprofit network in Hampton Roads to help them strengthen and do capacity building. So the nonprofits going out there have the support of Volunteer Hampton Roads when they're on their mission. Mm-hmm. We also work with corporations on a volunteerism side. We help them develop employee volunteer programs, help them sustain those programs, and help them to connect with local nonprofits so they can help as a corporation.
So if I'm a business person and I have this desire to go out and do great work in the community, you teach these businesses the skill, or give them the skills, I guess, to go out and do that effectively.
Yes, we help them set up an employee volunteer program because in business these days, corporate social responsibility is a huge piece of doing business and giving back to the community. But it's not easy to start from scratch without the support, and we have that support we can offer the businesses.
That's great, great.
And then we also work with volunteerism, which is how we actually started in 1957 as a volunteer clearinghouse, if you will. Folks from the community could call us up and we'd help them match to a nonprofit and a volunteer opportunity that they were looking for.
Are there some examples of programmatic things that you've done to carry out this mission?
Yes, we, for the volunteer side, we have what we like to call plug and play volunteer events that we offer out to the community as well as to the corporations that work with us. Some of these events, such as the Family Volunteer Day, we use both our Corporate Volunteer Council. They solicit donations of food throughout the year from their employees, and then we get together the weekend before Thanksgiving at Virginia Wesleyan, and we open it up to the community to come out and volunteer to pack boxes of food for folks in need. Last year we had 800 volunteers come out and participate in this event. It was wonderful, and it impacted 13 different nonprofits and the food bank that were each in turn able to give out boxes of food to those in need. We had a very touching moment last year. One of the volunteers that was there, it was a young lady about 10 years old, and she let us know that the year prior her family had received a box.
Wow.
And she was there to give back because she thought it was really important.
What a great story.
Yeah.
The year before she's on the other end receiving, and this
Yes.
year because of that generosity, she's now actually giving back. It's that gift that continues to give. That's a great story.
It had really impacted her.
What would this community be like if this organization did not exist?
I think there would be a lack of promotion of civic engagement. We have a couple of programs where we actually do awards programs, one of which we award community members for what they're doing and giving back so we can give them the recognition that's due to them and showcase how great they are and how much they've given to our community. And then we also do one for the corporate side because our businesses in this area are very dedicated, like Cox, and to giving back to the community.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, for us, it's, you know, we take care of our customers, we take care of our employees, but that other third rung, you have to give back to the community. You have to make sure that these communities are moving forward, and it's organizations like Volunteer Hampton Roads that highlight the importance of doing that. So if I'm listening to this, and there are people listening, they're individuals, they're companies, if they would like to get involved with Volunteer Hampton Roads, how would they do that? How do they?
Sure, we have a number of ways. If you're a business, we actually have a Hampton Roads Corporate Volunteer Council, and we're one of about 100 volunteer councils across the nation where corporations get together and work together network, learn about employee volunteer programs, and then go out and serve the community. So business can look us up, www.volunteerhr.org, and our number and the office is 757-624-2400.
And do you solicit requests for funding or anything like that? Can you support in that way if someone is listening, maybe they can't give the time, but they can write a check?
Most certainly. Donations go a long way to help us support the nonprofits and what our mission is, which is essentially supporting civic engagement and our community at large and the nonprofits and what they do for their mission.
If a nonprofit wants to take advantage of the services that you offer, how would they go about approaching or contacting you? Same way, or?
Certainly. They can go online or they can give us a call and talk to us. We do have a nonprofit resource library that we offer, filled with periodicals, books, anything you can imagine for research for a nonprofit. We also have a foundation center where they can come in and use our foundation center to look for grant programs.
One of the things that I've seen, I participate on a number of nonprofit boards, and having the necessary skills to actually move a nonprofit forward. Sometimes that's a challenge for some of our nonprofits, getting the right skill sets in there, whether they be legal or administrative, or putting together a business plan or a strategic plan, whatever. Are those areas that you help these nonprofits or can help?
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned it. Actually, every year something that we do in the fall is a board boot camp. To help folks that want to get involved on a board, may not have done it yet, and kind of need to understand what that dedication commitment is when you go on the board of a nonprofit. And that'll be in the fall, and folks can go onto our website to look for updates on when that will be coming out.
I'm sure you will have a lot of takers on that one, because there are a number of nonprofits who clearly, they want to do the right thing. They want to make a difference in the community, but when you get into the nuts and bolts of how do you do that, I mean, there are certain skills that are needed, and it's great that you're providing that.
Yes.
Well, listen, Kate, we are just about out of time. Actually,
right.
They're telling me we're out of time, so you're going to just have to come back. But before you leave, I did want to just tell you, thank you for all the great work you're doing. We have a unique, great community, and it's because of what this organization, Volunteer Hampton Roads, continues to do in our community. So thanks for joining us
Thank you.
on this edition of Cox Connection.
Thank you.
Coming up next, children's advocate John Walsh delivers the results from the latest tween internet safety survey commissioned by Cox Communications. And the results may surprise you, so stay tuned for more Cox Connection.